Hey everybody, welcome to my suburban oasis. My name is Soleil and I garden in a zone 6A in mid-Michigan, and today we're going to be doing some planting of those plants that we just got in our epic plant haul. If you haven't checked out that video yet, check it out. There's some amazing plants that are in there. Today we're going to plant some annuals in this garden bed to make it look a little prettier. What garden bed am I talking about? Well, let's take a look. This is the one. So this is one of the new beds, and we have some wonderful boxwoods planted in here along with some nice junipers and some weigela, and we've got a little bit of dianthus also, which the rabbits have definitely been enjoying. But we're going to pop some begonias in here for some more color, which I think is going to be fantastic, as well as we're going to plant the purple fountain grass along the back here. So I've kind of set these around in the various areas, and we can just get to planting because these are going to be rather simple, hopefully, to get in the ground. The only real digging I'm going to have to do is for the purple fountain grass, and it is very wet today. It is humid and wet. So let's get started down at this far end, and we'll start bringing in some pops of color. It's been raining quite a bit today, which is nice since we're having a heat wave, but for planting it's going to be a bit goopy. So I know I'm going to have to dig out some gross clay soil, so that's what this bucket is for. I'm probably going to have a big lump of it when I dig. But first we're just going to clear some of this wonderful mulch out of the way. I keep having technical difficulties. Okay, well, we have this beautiful purple fountain grass planted right back here with the junipers, and I think it looks really lovely, you guys, because it's a really nice new texture to have in this garden bed. Now, because it's an annual, I will have to pop it out at the end of the year, but that is a-okay by me because I just love the new texture that it brings to this garden bed. Now I'm just going to stick these begonias around into some spots where I think they belong, and then we'll pop them into the ground. Now, as a reminder, these begonias are called Prelude Pink, and they get about 8 to 10 inches tall and wide. So they should fill out a little bit in this garden bed and help to provide a little bit more color and a little bit more brightness, because these are such a light color in comparison to some of the other things that are planted in this garden bed. I haven't been able to plant a lot of annuals in here just because it is a new garden bed, so it takes a while for my really heavy, hard clay soil to start to break up in a way that I can actually plant annuals. Perennials can go in, but I'll just show you what I'm working with here. This is the kind of clay we have, so if you just kind of smush it between your fingers, you might be able to make some kind of pottery out of that. Tell you what, it just turns right into cement. Clay is very good. It's got lots of minerals in it, but it's incredibly dense and there's not much air in it. It has very small, fine particles. So the way to improve it is to really ensure that we get more air and more organic matter in between those really fine pieces of clay so that the water can distribute itself better as well. There are some little bugs around me. I don't know what they are, but they're not mosquitoes, thankfully. Now this is a full sun bed, maybe a little bit of part sun, but mostly full sun, and these will take it. And hopefully the rabbits and deer won't eat them. They are slightly deer resistant, so we'll see how it goes. I've not planted any out here before in this garden bed, or for any matter, any begonias out in the front garden beds at all. I sure hope they like it out here because they sure are pretty. Now, I may have to come back through with some fertilizer on these after they have kind of adjusted and after the rain kind of dries up a little bit in this mulch, because I am planting them a lot into mostly mulch above the soil because it's very thick in this garden bed. As I said, this is a no-dig garden bed, and this is just its second year or its second summer. Well, this one's pretty root bound too, so I'm gonna just tear that to pieces. Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Good, thanks. All right, we're just gonna get those chunky things out of here. Big chunks of clay. We're gonna break up these roots. And that's why these are looking a little bit stressed, because they just couldn't get enough water or be happy. I think they're gonna love their new home though. They'll be able to stretch those roots out like they had in those cans. Right, it's starting to look alive. We are going to now take some of the darker colored begonias and we're going to plant them between these boxwoods and around the barberry. I'm especially excited about putting these colors in because the barberry is very hard to see against the dark background, but I think these will help to provide some contrast between that as well as the weigela. And you can start to see some of the shapes of these plants a little bit better with something in between them and not just dead space. And this helps a lot with the patience when it comes to watching a plant fill in and waiting for that to happen over time. These should get a little bit of blockage from the late afternoon sun. They will definitely get the morning sun because this bed does face east. They'll get a little bit of shade though afterwards from this weigela. But they will also leave plenty of space for the plants that are currently in the garden bed to grow on. All right, now over here, what we're going to do is we are going to spread out the begonias again into their places, and then we'll get them planted. The light pink ones do not have as much of a root structure yet as the darker pink ones do. So I'm hoping they will catch up quickly. Time will tell. They definitely are not happy in their little tiny cells right now. But they were clearance plants, so we just have to remind ourselves of that. And again, these might get a little dose of fertilizer over here as well after they've been planted for a bit. Now we are going to do some planting under the weeping cherry. I just haven't decided exactly what yet. So that is yet to come. Sometimes I plan my garden out, and other times it's just a creative day out in the garden where I take the plants that I have, look around and try to find a good spot for them where I want them and go for it, and just enjoy spending the time in the creative process. How do you like to plant things? Do you like to plan them out, or are you like me and like to give it, just kind of wing it some days and just enjoy the creative process in the garden? Well, let's take a look at how it turned out, shall we? So from far away, I think you can really tell a difference. See if we can back up, and you can just kind of see how the color really pops a lot more. And the texture of those grasses next to the junipers, isn't that pretty back there? I think that's great. I accidentally broke a branch on my weigela as I was backing into it, but that's okay. I'll just snap that off and it'll be all right. Well, I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed the planting process. Like I said, it's just kind of a fun, creative process for me to come out and do. And you know, I'm still going to be removing the hostas that are under this weeping crabapple over here and replacing those with something else. So there's more to come in this garden bed and lots of growth that's going to be happening. I'll also be getting after the barberries once they finish out their flush of growth here and we get some cooler temperatures to be able to trim those back. But yeah, looks great. Well, thanks again for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.